Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. It's Captain Taylor here with SaltyScales.com. In this brief tutorial, I want to discuss how to catch Spanish mackerel. Right now, the Spanish mackerel run is in full swing, and I want to share some tips, tricks, and different rigs that I personally use to help me to be successful. So follow along, and I'll show you how to do it. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, so mackerel fishing is actually very simple. Mackerel are naturally attracted to anything that's flashy, and they will chase anything that moves fast. So speed and flash is pretty much one of the key elements when fishing or targeting Spanish mackerel. So here I've laid out some of the most, the lures that I've had the most success with. One being the Clark spoon. This is a very inexpensive spoon. It's been around for goodness, forever, decades. And the way you would use this is you would tie a trolling weight, so it's the weight with the two swivels on both ends, to a long leader, typically anywhere from 8 to 10 foot of leader, and then you would connect this spoon, and what you would do is you'd make long casts from the pier, allow it to sink, and this will actually flutter when it sinks, and then you would reel it pretty much as fast as you can back to the bridge. And actually you can vary your retrieve, work, the different levels of the water column, both the lower level and the upper level. So, and that's a very successful way to do it. It's not my favorite way to do it, but I've caught thousands of mackerel using that technique. It's just not as much fun as some of the others. So some of the others include, and I've showed you this on another video, these are called spec jigs. You can get them at Walmart. They're like $1.07. They used to be like 97 cents for the two of them. I cut them off and use them individually. And all you do is you allow this to sink, and then you retrieve it rapidly with rapid jerks all the way back to the bridge. Now I personally prefer 1/8 ounce. If you actually like the heavier lures, you can get 1/2 ounce and so forth. I just prefer the 1/8. I just think it moves better. It looks natural in the water. The other thing that you can use to catch a lot of Spanish mackerel is the goofy jigs. Same jigs that you'd use for pompano. Now the only thing is, obviously it could get expensive when the mackerel are biting you off, because you'd only use 20 or 30 pound leader. And when you're jigging these and the mackerel come and bite them off, it gets very expensive quickly. This is the teaser fly that would go with it. The teaser fly has the flash in it, and I think that oftentimes entices to strike even more so than the goofy jig. And you probably heard that in previous videos as well. Now one of the biggest rookie mistakes that people make, and I didn't have just the swivel alone, but they use a swivel. And they use gold swivels or silver swivels. Well, every time you're using a swivel and you jig that lure, well, this swivel is jigging as well. So what happens is mackerel school up and they chase and they bite anything that's flashy. So when they spot your lure, well, the other mackerels that are in the school are going to spot this jigging as well, and they're going to bite it off, and you're going to lose your whole rig. So what you want to do is you want to tie your 20 to 30 pound leader directly to either your hook or your artificial lure. Do not use a swivel, guys. You're just going to waste your money, you're going to get bit off, and it's going to be very frustrating for you. Now, live bait fishing. If you want to be successful at live bait fishing, it's a lot of fun. Free lining or using a cork are the two best ways. But the only big thing that you want to change is you want to use, 20 to 30 pound leader, 25 to 30 pound leader. And you want to use a long shank hook. I prefer the Mustad size number 1. These actually will save you a lot of hooks, first off, because regular hooks, the mackerel tend to bite right off. But you can see how long the shank of that hook is. And when the mackerel hit, they hit at speeds of up to 35 miles an hour. So if you have a little bitty hook like this, they grab that bait, a lot of times they'll just cut it right off, and you'll have a clean, break. So get you some Mustad hooks, try free lining live greenbacks or even chunk greenbacks. You can fillet the greenbacks or you can cut them into chunks and just create a good chum slick, and you'll be successful with catching mackerel. So these are the best tips that I have for catching mackerel. If you use any of these methods or techniques, you will catch mackerel. So get out there, try it, see which one works best for you, and report back to us how you do. They're all over the piers right now. I was just out there 2 days ago, and the bridge was just loaded with them. The bait's moving in, the mackerel are right there with them. So if you guys have any questions, just go on the YouTube page and comment, or go to saltyscales.com. And guys, if you like the video, please give a thumbs up and subscribe. Thank you, and we'll see you on the water or the pier.